You either become a legend or a lesson. Man, I thought it was so powerful. Man, I just thought that whole idea was powerful as hell, because he was talking, so he was explaining to me, he was like, God already has stuff in store for you, right? You know what I mean? Got a full destiny, blueprint, plans laid out for you. And that's based on your potential, right? He like, I see this in you. You got this. This is what you can do. This is what you can become, right? It's a whole blueprint. You feel me? And it's like, look, all of this is available for you. But it's still up to you to go get it, to make the right decisions, to make the right moves, to develop yourself into the capacity. And the problem, though, what happens is if you don't learn from your lessons along the way, God don't waste potential. So he'll still use you, but just as a lesson for another legend. Right? So I was thinking, like, as we make our moves and as we live our daily lives, like, are we going to become a legend, or are we going to become a lesson for somebody else to reach their full potential and reach their destiny? They say hindsight is 20/20, but insight, man, if you got insight into your current circumstances, then that's when you become even more powerful to make decisions in real time, right? In a very wise way. So some of us are just lessons for others to become legends, because they're not going to reach their full capacity, even though it exists as a potential. Most people never spark it, and it's mostly because most people never make that decision, right? I was talking to my mentees, man. We had a really good call, because I was explaining to them, it's some stuff, it ain't even about the strategies that I can give you. Some stuff, it's not about, the formulas, the funnels, the skills, giving you the exact directions, the books, right? Some stuff is just your confidence and your belief. Some things that if you don't believe you are, then you aren't, right? Like if you wake up and say, I'm frustrated, then you go be frustrated. And the thing about the universe is, people always talk about the universe. The universe is just the subconscious mind. That's all it is. The all-knowing. Your mind records everything. All recorded history, that's the mind. It knows everything. As a matter of fact, it knows it before you know it. Right? That's the universe. You can only get out the universe what you pour in. So we be trying to trick our minds, our subconscious mind, through our conscious action, but we don't really believe it, because in our subconscious is where our beliefs are stored. But that requires repetition and habit and consistent affirmation to try to change patterns. So a winner is a winner before it's announced, because you can't feel like a loser and win at the same time. It doesn't actually work that way. You can't believe you're a loser and then win. If that happened, you'll be surprised as hell. You'll be shocked out your mind. And guess what? It'll never happen again. You know what I'm saying? But the people that I know that are rich, that are wealthy, that are successful at what they do, man, they believe it way before it happened. They feel it already. And I had to, some things in my life, I had to change that practice about making those shifts consistently, because I be thinking that it's a business decision I need to change. I be thinking it's some psychological thing that I need to change, and it's really an emotional consistency that you need to have on the emotional plane to make sure that you feel like you want to be. You feel me? So everything I am, I already feel that way. I already think that way. You understand me? And then when you surround yourself with individuals who feel that same way about themselves, it reinforces. So you can't be broke and rich at the same time, meaning that you can't wake up in the morning and feel broke. You can't wake up in the morning and feel poor and then talking about something, you gonna be rich. It don't work like that. That ain't even how your body, that ain't how the world is made, that ain't how, you know what I mean? No laws in the universe are produced like that, because everything is based on cause and effect. So what you have to do is change the cause. So if you want to change the effect, but people try to change the effect without going to the root cause. Most things are very simple. You can start making tweaks in your business right now, and you can start booming if you only felt a certain way on a real level, so that you make the correct deposits. Man, I'm wealthy. But when I started to make some money, it's because man, I changed the way I thought and I changed the way I felt about reality. And part of it became because I was exposed to something different. Before, I can only feel based on what I knew and I understood and what I was exposed to. So when I started seeing other people around me have more, it expanded my mind. And in that void where it was expanded, I had to fill that void with a certain feeling, and it became a positive feeling and a belief that, oh, I can do it too. And as I started projecting myself and seeing myself in that same direction, making that same amount of money consistently, having the same amount of customer flow, getting the same amount of flowers and views and respect and love and all of these different things, all of a sudden my reality caught up to it. So most of the things is your reality catching up to your beliefs and self. Because whether you want to it or not, you cannot turn off the universe. You can't shut off your subconscious mind. You can't. It's going to always be running. And what you're trying to do is feed it more of something positive than the alternative, so you can produce that thing that you actually want in the reality. But if you think about the thoughts that you have and the feelings correlated with those thoughts, you realize that you're projecting and materializing what you feel and what you think all day long. Now, this is simplicity, but it's not usually activated, because people have information on a lot of things, but not activation on a lot of things. See, I don't care what you know, it's about what you do. Your own mind has to have experience feeling something and doing something. And the most dangerous and most beautiful thing about the mind is that once you go into your imagination, right, where you can put a picture in your mind, and then it becomes a factory of production, your imagination is beautiful and it's powerful, because it means that you can experience something without actually having to physically go through it in this plane. But most people try to manifest things on the physical plane, so you limit it. Nah, man, you got to go in the domain of the mind. That's where it's the most active. The brain don't know the difference between an imagined experience and a real experience when you go look at the brain waves of a human being. So you actually think that you're experiencing it. So when you actually going through negative thoughts and you start to panic, it's because your body is actually experiencing. So what happens on a physical level, your body informs your mind, and your mind informs your body. So if your body is imagining something happen, now your heart is starting to palpitate. Now your breath is starting to decrease and expands, and you start to get angry, you start to get excited. Now you feel it. Now you actually going through that experience that you imagining, because now your body is telling your brain to think negative in correlation to how your body feels. So it becomes this cycle that reinforces itself. So that's why I tell people a lot of times, you want to think and feel differently. You talk about money, you talk about whatever in your life, you go into nature and think about those things where your body can be at rest. So you program your body versus your body programming your mind.